which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Jay.
Here's your
Can I get a telephone?
Sure. Trustee Malenko?
Here.
Trustee Castle?
Here.
Trustee Soto?
Here.
Trustee Ellis?
Here.
Supervisor Menino?
Hey, here. Can I get a motion to amend the agenda to read approval of minutes in regular meeting on November 9th, 2021, and special meeting on November 16th, 2021?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. And then can I have we're going to go ahead and have a motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of November 10th, 2000, I'm sorry. Well, we made the amendment, now I have to go into the approval of minutes.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought that
Yeah,
was what
we're
you're...
going to go through
My
the approval
apologies.
of minutes now for both the 10th and the 18th special meeting.
Second.
Thank you. Those are why we changed it, okay. That's the 9th and the 16th, I apologize. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. And can I get a motion to approve the agenda for this meeting?
So moved. Second.
Dan, second, thank you. Earlier today, the board reviewed our claims, and can I get a motion to approve the claims as presented, please?
So moved.
Second. Clerk, can I get a roll, please?
Sure. Trustee Castle?
Yes.
Trustee Ellis?
Yes.
Trustee Soto?
Yes.
Trustee Malenko?
Yes.
Supervisor Menino?
Yes. At this point, we are going to allow public comment in the public forum. I would please ask and remind everybody, not only do I silence your phones, but please allow 3 minutes for everyone to speak. As you are, the clock will start once you say your name and where you're from, and then you will have your time to speak. Do I have anyone in the public that would like to make a comment? Yes, you first.
Mary Ann Mead, Glen Ellen Woods Civic Association.
Yes.
Actually, the reason I'm in attendance tonight is that I had heard through some neighbors that there was going to be some discussion about garbage collection for Milton Township. Yeah, I didn't see it on the agenda here tonight, but I was wondering if that was going to be a topic.
That is not, we are going to touch on it, but that is not.
Okay. Because Glen Ellen Woods has same issues, with multiple garbage collectors, and I'd be interested in finding out all that I can on that particular subject.
Thank you. Anyone else? Paul?
Good evening, Supervisor Menino, trustees. My name is Paula McGowan, and I'm living in Glen Ellen. On Saturday, December 11th, approximately 1 p.m., Milton Township trustee Dan Malenko texted me that he wanted me to call him. I responded saying that I was busy and for him to text or email me. The following is what I received by a text message from Dan Malenko the same day at 6:36 p.m. Quote, Dear Paula, I was hoping to reach you by phone, but it appears as though you were not able to return my call. My message is simple and clear. My message is simple and clear. There is not a staff position or unpaid or volunteer position available for you at Milton Township. I have spoken to Supervisor Menino and the other 3 trustees about this matter, and we are all in agreement on this issue. If you should desire to discuss this issue further, I welcome a call. Dan Malenko, Milton Township trustee. I would like to know, and I know you can't respond to me, and I know our attorney, Mary Dixon, would say that, and that's the right thing to do, okay? But I'm going to ask the questions, so you don't respond to me. I would like to know if Supervisor John Menino, Trustee Drew Ellis, Trustee Joe Soto, Trustee Jeff Castle knew about and are in agreement with this text that I just read from Trustee Dan Malenko. I feel that I've been harassed and discriminated against him for the past year. Is this for political reasons? I'm asking this board to give me a reason. It's not a very difficult question or what other reason I have been denied. I would like the board to give me an answer within 2 weeks or sooner. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yes.
Dennis Devitt, Butterfield East. My wife got an email last Friday and wanted me to look at it about a YouTube that somebody put up that couldn't even put their name on it, and went into a big long thing about garbage trucks and how they're ruining the thing. And I looked at that and I said, well, you know what? I used to be president of Butterfield East Homeowners Association, and we fought hard to get more than one trash company, because when we had Waste Management, they used to give us nothing but hell. So I thought about this, and I have a solution that caused nobody any problems in Milton Township. The person or persons who live in Butterfield West should go and see if they can get annexed to Glen Ellen. They won't have any problems. They'll have one trash thing, and in fact, they'll be able to say, we live in Glen Ellen. Milton Township won't have to go through the rigmarole of trying to find out garbage men and that. Won't have to take and write letters to everybody stating, this is what your garbage can's going to be now, and people calling you up and complaining and then coming to more meetings. So I suggest that's what we should do. Have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you. Dennis, thank you for your comments, and by the way, thank you for your service. We appreciate it. Anyone else? Sure.
Actually, I wanted to talk about, my name is Mary Ann Devitt, and I live in Butterfield East. And
Sure.
I also wanted to talk about the fact that Milton Township is considering, or possibly considering, having one garbage company. But I didn't know, I've never been to these meetings, I don't know how they run, so I didn't know if someone was going to discuss it first, and then I would put my input in, or this is my only time.
Well, I mean, there is other people probably going to make other, we've received emails,
Uh-huh.
and we were going to read some information.
So is it better if I wait? I mean, I don't
This
have
is
much.
public comment. You don't have any time other than that.
Okay,
Just-
okay. All right, so my concern is the fact, as my husband said, we've been living here 35 years. We only had Waste Management. I had a few neighbors who told me to go with Flood Brothers. In the last 10 to 12 years, Flood Brothers has almost taken over our subdivision. They do a great job. They never complain. They take whatever we want at a lower price. And as far as we have 3 garbage disposal companies coming. Waste Management on Wednesday, Flood Brothers on Thursday, DuPage, who only does a few, DuPage on Friday. And we have more traffic cutting through our subdivision than any garbage trucks. I have never heard of a kid getting hit by a garbage truck. I've never heard of anything like that. We have been grandfathered in the last 10 or so years. I think a lot of people in my subdivision will be very upset if somebody comes along and says, you have to have this. I thought we had a choice. Today we're losing a lot of our choices. I hope this isn't one of them. So, as far as I'm concerned, if it's an issue in Butterfield West, let them handle it. If they need more money to do the roads, I think with everything going on, that there is money available for Milton Township. Actually, when I called Milton Township Highway Department, they knew nothing about this. So I don't know where it's coming from, but I'm highly against it. So, thank you.
Thank you, Mary Ann. Anyone else? Erica, please.
I want to just reinforce some work that was done by Milton Township in the last month or so around the support
Can you
of
please
the,
state your
I'm sorry, Erica Nelson, 1734 K Road in Wheaton, Milton Township. Thank you. So I want to reinforce and thank again the board for the work that you did over the past several months, but in approval of the 708 Community Health Board. And I just want to share a statement, and I think I shared some of this in my own words, but this came across an organization that's called Mental Health America that does a lot of advocacy. And I think it speaks to the prevention issue that I raised. So this is a reinforcement and a thank you for the support of the board. And it's called Before Stage 4 Philosophy by this Mental Health America Association. When we think about cancer, heart disease, or diabetes, we don't wait years to treat them. We start way before stage 4. We begin with prevention. And when people are in the first stage of those diseases and have a persistent cough, high blood pressure, or other remedies, we reverse these symptoms as quickly as possible. This is what we should be doing when people have serious mental illness issues too. When they first begin to experience symptoms such as loss of sleep, feeling tired for no reason, feeling low, anxious, or other symptoms, we should act. And so these early symptoms, before they become serious, start to get addressed well before they take their toll. And so I want to thank the Milton Township Board for recognizing that this idea of before it reaches that stage, we're doing prevention, and reinforce that. My thanks to you. I also want to lift up one trustee who is a fellow Rotarian in Glen Ellen, and Jeff and I spent some time on Friday delivering citrus. And so I want to thank him for that work and that partnership as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Erica. Anyone else? Any other comments?
Can I just hand these out to the trustees, or can you pass them out?
If you would like to give info to the clerk, Paula, you can hand out
Thank you.
the information. Thanks. You don't have to do it now, it's just information to give to the board.
Okay.
Unless you wanted them to have it right this second.
No, that's.
My name is John Peterson. I, in Glen Ellen Woods Association, the only reason we are trying to reduce the number of garbage trucks is because of the traffic, and just, it's not so much cost. I think it's traffic, that we don't have sidewalks in our neighborhood. So it's just more, it's safety, and try to not tear up our roads. That's it.
Thank you so much. And your name was again?
John Peterson.
John, thank you. Anyone else for public comment? No others? Oh, Jake Grabowskis, go ahead. State your
My
name,
name is
please.
Jay Grabowskis. I live in Butterfield East. The highway commissioner isn't here, but I've got a concern about the repair of the roads. I did some lookup, online, and that the highway commissioner or the highway department is only using 1/3 of the funds available for road repairs. And also there's an extension where they can get an extra over $2 million to help repair the roads. I know it's too late now because of the winter, but because you could also ask for additional funds that could be repairing the roads for the next 10 years. But nothing has been done. I mean, I do not know what's going on in the highway department. I mean, there's money there, okay, but I don't know, it's lack of knowledge. I mean, I looked it up. I mean, it's based on the consumer price index, or 5%, whatever it's lower, and there's money there. It's just sitting there. I mean, is it going to be there next year? I don't know. We all pay taxes. I mean, something has to be done. You know, the money's there. It could fix all our roads for the next 10 years. I mean, that's all I've got to say.
Thank you. Anyone else? Any other public comment? We'll be closing the public comment at this point. And on to the chairman's report. So, I'd like to talk a little bit about the general assistance department and the food pantry. Had an incredibly successful Thanksgiving, thanks to some of our staff who went way up and beyond to find partnerships with the Northern Illinois Food Bank, and also right here in our own backyard, the PRC, which is the People's Resource Center, right here in downtown Wheaton. They provided many, many meals, hundreds and hundreds of meals, by the way, that we were able to help all these different communities not only come in and help, but also we physically went out to these subdivisions and looked in the eyes of the people that said, thank you. It was such a worthwhile experience. And several of the trustees were involved as well. And we did some pie giveaways. And, you know, I was just really fortunate to be a part of it. And I want to say that we will continue to partnering up with different food pantries. And there is an incredible need. And a lot of people, if I may jump off this soapbox by saying, a lot of people that live in Wheaton and Glen Ellen, and several of you that I've heard the times that you've lived here, it would be a shocker to let you guys know that there are some impoverished communities right here. And we have the opportunity to serve the people. And this is why I think we're here today. All these people in front of you, they want to serve in the community. And we did fantastic job. So to finish by saying we're going to do that again with Christmas. It's exciting. We're going to be doing, instead of turkeys, we're doing hams. So, and I think we still have some turkeys left here, and not us. So, I'm glad we can make light of things with the holiday and the Christmas season. So, I'm very thrilled to say that the food pantry is very healthy. Some extremely giving people in our community have come forward off of our little marquee sign and have brought in generous gifts. And they say, well, we have no family here in town. We want to make someone else our family. I've also witnessed in the food pantry some of our trustees right here that are sitting before us that helped families, personal, large families out and gave out of their own generosity. They're not taking from any funds that are here in the township, but out of their own pockets. So I applaud them for their generosity. So that being said, I'm excited to say that the food pantry is healthy, and we're thankful that we can help so many. I'll move on to the general assistance part, and just make mention that, as you can see, if you were to peek out and look in, we're sitting in the assessor's area because our conference room has been flooded by our own Marines. No offense, Navy. But
No, the Marines are part of the Navy. The Navy is not part of the Marines.
Okay, all right. Well, we want to make mention that the Toys for Tots program, which is Marine driven, and hopefully all the other services, it was unbelievably generous this year, and the three truckloads that Alex over there behind you and I and several other employees went and picked up all this stuff and just unloading it. Every one of us here were unloading, and it was just amazing. So we are excited to be able to see the faces that we're helping in the community, and we have a lot just surrounding us. And, I have nothing else on that part, so I just wanted to give you guys a heads up that the general assistance and the food pantry are doing very well. Under miscellaneous, we are going to move into. That's next. Okay. I have nothing for miscellaneous. We are going to go into the official committees and the officials and the committee reports. So I would ask the town clerk, do you have anything?
No report.
No report. We have our very own executive director, Marty Keller, that runs our community emergency response team. He is hiding over in the corner. We're thrilled to have you, Marty. Do you have anything you'd like to?
But I could eat cookies and not be
I
noticed.
know.
We had our end of the year leadership gathering last Saturday. At that time, we kind of go through all the numbers, what we do for the year. CERT was involved on, I think it was 95 or 96 separate days we were doing something. And I kind of laughed about that because I remember some of those where we had a recycling event in the morning, we had something doing in the afternoon, and then we had a race at night. So some of those days actually had 2 or 3 events in them. I don't remember the exact numbers. If you take all the hours, all the volunteer hours we provided, multiply that towards 28, 54 or something, whatever they figure volunteer hours are rated at. Our little township CERT program ended up providing over $200,000 worth of services to the community. And a lot of that is pretty much Wheaton and Glenelg in this area, but we've been involved in several other communities and towns. But if you look at that, you go, wait a second, Trish and I are the only 2 people who actually get any money from the township for working this program, and yet the community is going to get over $200,000 back. So it's one of those wonderful programs that's pretty cheap up front, pays a lot back to the community. Our next class is starting March 1st. We'll be back at College of DuPage. If anyone's interested, all the information is on the website. But we need to train more people. We're at 1,500. Department of Homeland Security says we need 35,000 for a county this size for us to be safe. So a lot of people need to be trained. So if you're interested at all, see me, talk to John, any of the trustees, all of our trustees who've gone through the program. They're well aware of it. So we just need more people. We need to train more people. Thank you.
Thanks, Marty. Marty, you do a wonderful job, and I just want to say thank you for all you do. And you had a great year this year, you and Trish, so it was fun watching the gang get together and work our Lions, our very own Lions, Wheaton Lions, and the Park District, Wheaton Park District, the reindeer run. So it was great to be a part. Thank you, Marty. Okay, on to the SALT. Seniors and Law Enforcement Together. Our chairman is Chuck Smith. He can't be here tonight. So I would ask, I'll put Dan Malenko on the spot if you don't mind, Dan. Would you mind reading that from our very own Chuck Smith?
Sure. All right, so this correspondence is to John. John, I feel it would be best for all if I don't attend the meeting tonight. Well, you know what? We don't need to get into that. December SALT meeting was held Monday, December 13th. The guest speaker was Sylvia Carrier of the USPIS, and that's the U.S. Postal Inspector Service. She did an excellent interactive presentation on various aspects of mail fraud, along with the various aspects of theft and investigations performed by their investigators. Sylvia provided handouts highlighting excellent information to our seniors on how to prevent becoming a victim. There were 4 new seniors that attended the meeting. In addition, we are working very diligently to sign up eligible seniors for the Illinois Energy Assistance LIHEAP program. With natural gas prices expected to be double last year's, we are trying to minimize the financial impact to our seniors. Best wishes and good health to all of you. Chuck.
Thank you so much, Trustee Malenko. So that's it for SALT at this point. And does everybody here get the SALT communicator? You're probably too young to get that. If not, okay. So we're excited that the next newsletter is going to be coming out in January, and you'll be getting hit on those your doors the first part of February. So. With the, we're going into the next committee, which is the cemeteries. Milton Township covers 3 cemeteries. One is Jewel Grove, which is right by Sandburg School in Wheaton. The other one is Pleasant Hill, which is right off of Geneva Road, and that's probably the most famous one of all. You've been past it a million times, I'm sure. Right between Gary Avenue and Pleasant Hill. And then the third one would be Jewel Grove, I'm so sorry, St. Stephen's, and that is behind the cement, if everyone knows where Augustino's is, that's the best location. It's behind there by the Prairie Path, and that's where that is. We have events there throughout the holiday season. It's usually Memorial, Labor Day, and 4th of July. With that being said, there's a small update. I'd like our very own the person that sits on the chair and co-chairs, Drew Ellis, to talk a little bit about some of the repairs being done real quick.
Sure, absolutely. In terms of Cemetery Authority, we're in hibernation for the winter. So we're looking forward to our programs kicking off in the spring. With one of the cemeteries, which is the Pleasant Hill, there are some issues with our gates, and we're having some gate work repaired. So we'll be ready for that event, and then the gates will be working appropriately. So other than that, all quiet with all the cemeteries.
Thank you so much. I think Mr. Castle, our grand trustee Castle, is also working on something in St. Stephen's. If you want to comment, or you want to talk about that later?
Just bring it up when it happens.
Okay, we're going to be doing some other fun stuff over there. So at this point, we would go ahead to trustee comments.
Yeah. Also want to mention, piggybacking off the SALT report over there, that we hosted our first senior holiday party in Milton Township, and we had a great turnout. I think we had over 60 people, if I recall correctly. And it was just nice of seeing that, they were all happy. They were happy to be there. We had some good food, had Santa Claus there, and played some bingo, and it was a really good time. So I was getting asked if we can have a St. Patrick's Day party, a Valentine's Day party, an Easter party. So I'm not quite sure where to cut it off, but I think we'll be able to help them out a little bit. But I just wanted to let you guys know that.
So I had a couple things here that I'd like to bring up. One is in relation to the issue with the garbage trucks. Okay, and so the township has received a lot of emails going one way or another, and it seems as though it's a sort of a Butterfield East and Butterfield West and the Woods issue, right? So I'll just read a couple of just the main focal points, the Cliff's Notes of some of the emails. A guy named Terry says, I live in Butterfield East. I would like to continue having the ability to choose the company that takes away my trash and recycling. Nancy says, some of the points where that waste management's rates were ridiculously high. And then she brought up the point of let's ask people to limit their UPS and Amazon deliveries to 1 day a week to make the point of reducing the traffic, which is exactly what the problem seems to be. So Butterfield East, I happen to live in Glen Ellen myself, and I'm familiar with both of those subdivisions as well as the Woods, and I do know that that's a problem of people cutting through the thoroughfare. Patricia says, we live in Butterfield East and have no desire to change our trash company. We're very happy with Flood Brothers, who offer better service at a lower price than our former waste removal providers. Larry, one point is those of us who will have to change will be stuck with an exit fee of $75 to $100 for picking up both the old containers. And then goes into saying, there's concern as to whether the new company that may or may not be used will, and things of that sort. People on a very tight budget. It's a scary thing to be faced with the uncertainty of having Mr. Mr. Devitt, who I believe is here today. I thought one good point is that admitting that the garbage trucks do wear out the roads, but so does all the excess traffic, and so that's another add-on to the problem with thoroughfare, especially in Butterfield East, which, folks who live in Butterfield west of the woods really, they don't have those problems that Butterfield East has, and so it's hard to kind of take all the problems from the different areas and, put yourself in their shoes. So, but this, Mr. Garstke, I'm sorry if I chopped that up here tonight, but a couple of the points was that it is my understanding that Milton Township is about to limit the number of waste haulers in unincorporated Milton Township, specifically Butterfield East. And I want to make a very important point here. We are not limiting anything, and we are not making a decision on waste haulers. Okay, that is not our decision to make. This is the people who live there's decision to make. We will act on your behalf as a voice, being as how we, the board here, we offer that. You are our constituents, and we are responsible to you to be your voice. So I wanted to make everybody rest assured that we are not calling any shots here like that. But Waste Management also charged a fuel surcharge on top of the high rates. Waste Management, Flood Brothers, and DuPage Disposal, they did a report. Just trying to kind of take a quick notes here. A clear winner from those standpoints was Flood Brothers, being good price points. And I know from my own experience in my regular job that Waste Management is really expensive. So as retirees, my wife and I have to pay close attention to our finances once again into the uncertainty of new bills. Neither of us receive any pension, so we have to live frugally. I think there's a lot of people that have that same exact problem, and waste management, waste garbage collections, it can get really expensive from one side of the cheapest to the most expensive. It varies wildly. So something we have to consider. Now, as far as that goes, if anybody has any more feedback from us, they can definitely email us. Our cards are right at the front desk. We're happy to listen. We're an open ear, and if we can help in any sort of way, we will. All right. So now to my next point. So as far as the highway department goes, I'd like to report that the highway department did respond to the wind storm the other day, and they're fully geared up for the possibility of another windstorm tomorrow. They cleared about a dozen trees in unincorporated areas after the storm was 3 days ago. We had up to 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts, and we have the possibility of that again tomorrow. So I suggest battening down the hatches and making sure that there's nothing that can fly away. We had a sign out in front of the building here that flew away. So something to consider. But and as far as the highway department goes, Mr. Grabowski, I would highly suggest you email them and ask them your important questions you have to ask. So, and they should be ready and willing to provide an answer to you. So, okay, that's it for me.
Any other?
Yeah, I would just add, I think, with the waste collection services, correct me if I'm wrong here, but, if there were to be wholesale changes, let's just look at that scenario, that would have to be prompted by a referendum, am I correct? So, just so you know, that takes, a community to go through, the proper paces with the county clerk and get the signatures and all that kind of stuff, and it would have to go to a referendum. It's not a unilateral choice that the township would ever make.
Yes,
And I kind of, Supervisor Menino kind of stole my thunder because I was going to say, why are we here, not over there? I was going to talk about, the
pretend like I
plethora,
didn't say anything.
the plethora of gifts that are overgrown the township border, but when I walk through it, it is heartwarming to see all the support that we have in the GA, so good job. Supervisors.
I'll add one more point, is that, you know, me and trustee Malenko, because we couldn't be in attendance at the celebration the other day for the seniors lunch, due to work constrictions, we decided to allocate a month of our trustees' stipend towards adopting a family and providing Christmas presents for them this year, and also donating a little bit to local charities. So, good job, trustee Malenko.
Thanks, guys.
It was great. I liked your packaging. It looked like Ho-Ho Santa Claus bags. It was great. Anybody else have anything, trustee comments? Okay, we're going to move on. I did pass up one thing. I just wanted to make mention on the, in chairman comments, the joint review board was called. Everybody has seen the new 7-Eleven that's going up, the Amico, beautiful building. There were some TIF funds that were brought in, and I was asked to come by our very own mayor of Carroll Stream, Frank Savarino, a legend in his own time. He's an amazing guy with a great character, and came together with the community District 200 schools. I learned a little bit about how taxes work in certain municipalities, and that we were fortunate enough to be in this meeting. I didn't want to bore anybody with details, but it was really extremely neat to see how areas, if not taxed properly, things can turn ugly, and communities can turn bad, and updates that are needed, and they take a portion of Caputo's funds, which is very public information, a certain portion of Caputo's funds, and that they allowed some of the curb appeal to this corner right here, which is Milton Township, to fix it up. And remember what was there before, that little gas station? It's just amazing. And they brought in a good sandwich shop over there. I'm real happy about it. It was wonderful to be a part of it, and I learned a lot with what the community does. It's not just a municipality, but they involve everybody. I'm talking about fire district, police district. There's a lot to it when you get into a TIF situation. And just so you know, they were thrilled to see Milton Township as a part, and we'll be more involved with these things throughout Wheaton, Glen Ellen, Carroll Stream, Glendale Heights, wherever we're needed. We have many intergovernmental agreements, and we'll be there fighting for the taxpayers, because that saved a lot of money for the taxpayers. It did not come out of anyone's pocket. It came directly out of the businesses. So we're here on that. So that's what I wanted to share on that. So we will move on to unfinished business. I would like to talk a little bit about our audit updates, which many of you in this room have seen my happy face when we talk about this. We are behind. The auditors have given us some length of time. I talked to our CPA and our accountant today. Audits are done yearly, and there's a certain amount of time that you can get that done for the public to see. These audits are behind. We have, for the comptroller, it goes to the comptroller in the state of Illinois for records and record keeping for the public to see. The audit is not done by no fault of Milton Township whatsoever. It's not the newness of our township board. We are on top of this 100%, and every one of us hold each other accountable. It's the auditors, and their excuses are exactly what the world's going through. They're losing people. The last auditor we've had, I sat there with him. He's no longer in the business. So what happens? Now someone else has to take up the pieces and figure it out, and it's a big puzzle, and it's a mess. Anyway, I have rest assured from the founder of our audits, Amen, by the way, Lauterbach and Amen, that this Brad Porter has taken over the file, and on January 4th, I am receiving a call with the CPA, our accountant here. We should have a good amount of information and ready to submit to the comptroller. sorry I'm so long-winded, but as you can feel my frustrations, the board is frustrated. We are, brand new board, and we don't want to have, we don't like that we can just go and ask for extensions. It's unacceptable, in my opinion, so. These guys, just so you know, the board is very much on top of it, okay? On to the next, new unfinished business. Every one of you have had an opportunity to look at the special police contract, which is new and set to renew. We're going to be meeting all of these gentlemen. Our new, there's a couple new patrolmen in our unincorporated areas. We pay, as a township, for 4 specific police officers, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, to watch over our unincorporated areas and some of our corporate areas as well of Milton Township. This special police contract we just submitted, and there is a slight increase from last year. As you know, health benefits and new phones have gone up, but we've all looked at it, and at this point, can I get approval for the special police contract for 2022?
So moved.
Okay. Can I get a roll call, please?
Trustee Castle,
Yes.
trustee Ellis,
Yes.
trustee Soto,
Yes.
trustee Malenko,
Yes.
supervisor Menino.
And yes. Next on the agenda is our renewal for the paratransit local share agreement necessary for us to remain partners with Ride DuPage program. After a lot of research from our staff and myself, we determined that the best option for a senior transport in our township is to remain a partner of Ride DuPage for the time being. Note that not renewing this agreement would cause both Wheaton and Glen Ellen to also lose service with the PACE in unincorporated areas as well. Incorporated, I'm so sorry, as well. So, with that being said, can I get a motion, and of course all of this is in your packets, can I get a motion to approve the paratransit local share agreement?
So moved.
Second.
Drew gave a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, let me get a roll call, please.
Trustee Ellis,
Yes.
trustee Castle,
Yes.
trustee Soto,
Yes.
trustee Malenko,
Yes.
supervisor Menino.
Yes. Thank you. The miscellaneous and other. Is there any other new business? If none, I'd like to move on. And our last part is executive session. And there is no need for executive session, and I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. And can I get a roll call, please?
Trustee Castle,
Yeah.
trustee Ellis,
Yes.
trustee Soto,
Yes.
trustee Malenko,
Yes.
supervisor Menino.
Yes. Okay.